The story I am about to tell is not easy to share, but I feel it carries lessons about choices, priorities, and the way a single sentence can change the course of lives forever. Oh, I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, in a fairly average family. My parents weren't rich, but they made sure my siblings and I never lacked the basics of life. I was the oldest daughter, and perhaps because of that, I always felt I had to carry a certain image of being responsible, careful, and mature. By the time I turned 25, I had a stable job in marketing at a mid-sized firm. I was living independently in a small apartment downtown, juggling the pressures of work, friendships, and the quiet but constant expectation from my family that someday soon I'd settle down. That's when I met Ethan Parker. Oh, meeting Ethan. Ethan was the kind of man who carried calmness wherever he went. He wasn't flashy or loud, but he had a steady presence that made people trust him instantly. We first crossed paths at a friend's barbecue one summer evening in Raleigh. He had this warm, patient smile and asked me questions that showed he was really listening. By the end of the night, he asked if I'd like to go for coffee sometime, and I said yes without hesitation. Coffee turned into dinner. Dinner turned into long walks in Freedom Park. And before long, Ethan and I were officially dating. He worked as a civil engineer, and I admired how grounded he was. Where I was impulsive and often caught up in what-ifs, he was steady, rational, and deeply kind. My friends teased me that I had finally found someone who balanced me. And for a while, it felt true. Oh, the relationship deepens. Ethan wasn't one for grand gestures, but his everyday kindnesses meant more than roses or candlelight dinners ever could. He would show up with my favorite iced latte when I had deadlines. He'd check my car before a long drive. He introduced me to his parents, who welcomed me warmly into their family dinners. We dated for almost 2 years, and by then, the topic of marriage naturally came up. Ethan was ready. He had always been upfront about wanting stability, a home, and a family. But I wasn't so sure. Oh, the doubt creeps in. Here's where my story takes a turn. I had grown up seeing marriages all around me, some beautiful, some broken. I saw friends who rushed into marriage only to feel stuck later. And somewhere deep inside, a voice whispered, "Are you sure this is all there is? What if you're missing out? What if life has more to offer before you commit forever?" It wasn't that Ethan lacked anything. He was kind, loving, and dependable. But I started to look at my own life and wonder if I was ready to close all other doors so soon. What if I wanted to travel more? Meet new people? Experience different lifestyles before settling down into the predictable rhythm of marriage? These thoughts grew louder the closer Ethan came to proposing. Oh, the conversation. One evening, Ethan invited me over for dinner at his townhouse in uptown Charlotte. He had cooked pasta from scratch, and I noticed how nervous he seemed. After dessert, he finally said it. "Madison," he began, "we've been together for almost 2 years now. I love you, and I see a future with you. I want to build a life together, to get married, to make this real." My heart should have leapt with joy. Instead, I froze. I took a deep breath, looked at him, and said the words that would change everything. "Ethan, I care about you so much, but I feel like I need to experience more before I settle down. I'm not ready to commit yet." His face changed instantly. He blinked, as if he wasn't sure he heard me right. "Experience more," he repeated, his voice quiet. I nodded, fumbling to explain. "I just feel like I've only known one kind of life. I don't want to wake up 10 years from now regretting that I didn't live more freely before marriage. I don't mean I don't love you. I need more time." Silence filled the room. Ethan leaned back in his chair, the warmth in his eyes dimming. "Madison," he said slowly, "what you're really saying is that I'm not enough for you right now." I panicked. "No, that's not what I mean." But he raised his hand gently. "I hear you, and I respect your honesty. But I can't build a life with someone who's already thinking about what else is out there. That's not fair to either of us." I tried to backtrack, to soften my words, but the damage was done. That night, I left his place with a pit in my stomach, not realizing just how final his response would be. Oh. The locks changed. 2 days later, I drove over to Ethan's townhouse, hoping to talk things out, to explain better. I carried with me a sense of guilt, but also a fragile hope that he would understand. When I arrived, I tried my spare key, only to find that it didn't work. He had changed the locks. The message was clear. Ethan wasn't waiting around for me to experience more. He had made his decision. The aftermath. At first, I was angry. How could he just shut me out so suddenly? Didn't he owe me a chance to explain? But as the days turned into weeks, the anger melted into regret. I replayed our conversations in my head, especially the look on his face when I said I needed to experience more. What did that even mean? More fun? More freedom? More what? The truth was, I hadn't been rejecting Ethan. I had been running from my own fear. Fear of commitment. Fear of making the wrong choice. Fear of missing out. But in trying to hold on to every possibility, I had lost the one person who truly loved me. Life without Ethan. Months passed. I threw myself into work. I went on trips with friends, tried new hobbies, and yes, I even dated casually here and there. But nothing felt the same. Every new city I visited, every new person I met, I kept comparing to Ethan. The steady way he made me feel safe. The quiet comfort of knowing someone was truly in my corner. The so-called experiences I thought I needed didn't fill the emptiness I felt without him. Running into him again. About a year later, I saw Ethan unexpectedly at a community fundraiser. He looked well, healthier, more confident, surrounded by friends. We exchanged polite greetings, but it was clear that we were now strangers. Later, I heard through mutual friends that he had started seeing someone new, a teacher named Claire. They seemed happy, and I was genuinely glad for him. But deep inside, I couldn't help but feel the sharp sting of regret. The lesson. Looking back now, I realized something important. Life will always have more experiences to offer. There will always be new places to visit, new people to meet, new adventures to chase. But love, the kind of love that is steady, kind, and true, is rare. When it comes, it deserves to be cherished, not put on hold while we chase fleeting thrills. I told Ethan I needed more before settling down. He gave me exactly what I asked for, freedom. But freedom without love turned out to be emptier than I ever imagined. And that is a choice I will live with for the rest of my life.